right, everybody. Welcome to obviously the warm-up interviews for Level Up Con. We have Brian Glynn here. I don't know if you guys recognize his face, but I guarantee you would recognize his body as I have it up here on the screen. He was Shao Kahn. And which Mortal Kombats were you Shao Kahn in?
Mortal Kombat 3, was it 2, 3, 2, 3, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a one video game. It wasn't they have a whole new Shao Kahn now. I don't really like the suit as much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the way the Shao Kahn has kind of gone?
Honestly, he was my favorite villain for pretty much any fighting game, like Bison, uh basically any other fighting game, like even Heihachi. A lot of people like Heihachi from Tekken, but Shao Kahn's my absolute favorite, and I think those spike, it's called pauldrons or whatever, those spikes.
No, right here.
Absolutely, he was just a bully, and I loved it. That's awesome.
Somebody made that for me.
Somebody made that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It actually, the helmet actually comes off. I'm not sure that really looks like me, but
so I've seen that figure. If you Google you, that's actually a picture. There's a picture of that figure, I believe, on Google when you go through and look for it.
Yeah. That was I'm trying to figure out when I got that. In Chicago, maybe?
Chicago? Cool.
One of the shows we did.
So how did you end up doing Mortal Kombat 3?
I was working out at a gym actually, and John Parrish had approached me.
Okay.
We're both working out at the same gym. It was World Gym in Chicago.
Okay.
And he said somebody was looking for someone to play this character in a game. So he gave me John Tobias's number. I got in touch with John, and then I went to the offices over there at Midway and met with John. And the audition was pretty easy. He said, take off your shirt. And then that was about it.
Gotcha. You know? So you weren't the voice, you were just the body.
Yeah, I think they tried to do the voice with me, but it wasn't coming out that clear.
Okay.
But I think they added all that in later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I have to say, I saw on IMDb that like Shao Kahn's like 6'7" or something. How tall are you?
Oh, I'm only 5'11".
You're only 5'11". So they had to kind of expand you a little bit.
Well, but where'd you see that on like Wikipedia at one time?
So IMDb has little trivia snippets about everybody.
Yeah.
And that's like there's 3 things about you. It's that you live in Las Vegas. Let me pull it up again. Hold on.
Yeah, now I do. Yeah.
Pull that away. Sorry, guys. We'll cut that. So there was the first thing on there. Did you know, despite the imposing stature of Shao Kahn, Glynn was in fact shorter than the majority of the other Mortal Kombat actors, necessitating the resulting captured images of him to be upscaled in order to properly represent Shao Kahn.
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
That's not
either.
True?
I'm not 6'7", but I think I'm pretty much taller. I think the only one that is the same height as me would probably be John Parrish.
Okay. Fact check IMDb.
I'm a little bit taller than Turk. I think I'm about an inch taller than Turk.
Okay.
Definitely taller than Carrie and Leah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm probably
the second tallest.
Yeah, I don't even know if John Parrish might not even be. I think we're about the same height.
Okay. So IMDb's capping. We gotta get in there and let them know.
Yeah, that's BS. But it also said after it was a while after Mortal Kombat came out, somebody made a Wikipedia page, and it said I was 6'7" from Germany or something. It also said I was like 10 years older than I am.
Don't you just hate that?
and then there's a Brian Glynn hockey player.
Yes.
So then it kind of got combined with him. So then I was like a hockey player. So Wikipedia is kind of, I guess that's bullshit too.
I'm going to go over there and fix it like literally tonight. I'm going to go in there after we get done talking. I'm going to go over there and try to fix as much as I can for you.
Can you actually fix it? People can so is that how it gets screwed up? People just go on there and start putting stuff. Oh, okay.
And so you can go back in and say, like, you can report in like false things, like, you know, Brian Glynn's from Germany. No.
Yeah, that says I play hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, it got to be all kinds of crazy things. I don't even know. I think now it's just all for the hockey player, the
Yep,
guy to play hockey. I don't know how I don't know how that works, but
gotcha. So
last time I checked,
while you
that
were
was
making Mortal Kombat 3, I guess it was kind of like the hype was kind of building for Mortal Kombat, but it wasn't near as much as how gigantic it is now.
yeah.
Did you like? Did anybody recognize you? Did you tell people and they were excited, or how did that go when you told people?
At the time it came out, I mean, nobody really knew what it was. So I think not until they made the movie. But it's still weird though. When I tell people I was in the video game, they don't understand that. Like, what do you mean you were in the video game?
They had to digitize you. They didn't. No,
Yeah,
there's no motion capture. That is your physique right there.
yeah, like we went to do an appearance with recently at the Comic-Con in LA.
Okay.
I was with two of the actors that were in the movie.
Oh wow.
I was the only one that was in the video game that was there
Yeah.
because Carrie couldn't make it. And people are confused because they're like, You guys were in the movie. What do you mean you were in the game? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people don't understand that.
Well, because
Even
now
myself,
it's all like motion capture, and then they just make a character. Like all what's really crazy is everybody that was in like Mortal Kombat 1 through 4 set the tone for how all the characters looked.
right.
So even like obviously Shao Kahn's I forgot what the name of the race is, but it's the obviously the out up from the Outworld, so he's got horns and everything. But
Yeah,
they make them the same shape. If you look at all the video games, make them the same shape, so it's all based on all of you.
right.
So you guys set a foundation for literally, in my opinion, the biggest fighting franchise next to like Street Fighter, and Street Fighter is just big because there's a pro thing for it.
Yeah, one of the weird things is that so I was doing some work for an attorney's office out here, and this guy heard one of the guys that worked in his office heard my name,
Mhm.
and he asked me if I was. Now these guys had no clue I was in a video game, and this
Mhm.
guy asked me if I had happened to been in Mortal Kombat. He's like, "How do you spell your name?" And
Hmm.
he noticed it from the credits.
Yep.
Yeah, which
And
I'm like, you read the credits on the game? Like, that's how much of a fan he was of the game. So that was kind of odd, you know. That's probably the most weirdest uh, recognizing that someone has,
yeah, you're not
made.
the only one that's happened to. Like I said, I talked to Richard DeVizio last week, and he said the exact same thing. Said
Yeah,
that people are recognizing his name now from the credits of the game because they run after you win.
right, right.
But so since Mortal Kombat, what have you been doing?
Oh wow. Well, I was at the time I was working in Chicago.
Mhm.
I went to school for graphic design, and I became like a painter and a designer.
Cool.
And then after 9/11, I got laid off, and then I still did that part time for myself, uh, for myself,
Hmm.
but then I also started personal training people. And I did that until I moved to Las Vegas in 2007.
Okay.
And then I I got involved with the business working for attorneys.
Okay.
So I organize all their discovery for them.
Oh, cool.
Sit in on court case. So I'm considered like a computer expert from the courts, like the US courts and the local courts. So I still work for myself,
Hmm.
but I get employed by the courts, you
That's
know.
awesome. That's awesome. So
That's, I mean, it's not like what one of my passions,
mhm.
obviously. But I still bodybuild, I still paint, I still do graphic design, but it just, during the recession and stuff like that, that was what kind of paid the bills, and
Yeah,
I'm still doing it today. I have a few employees that work for me, um, on and off, so depending on how busy I get.
good deal.
So
So you
yeah,
said
it's been a good business. I
cool.
can't complain. When I was training people, you lose a little bit of the passion to work out
Mhm.
because it becomes like a job. So I don't, although I like helping people get in shape, I didn't like doing it full time because I felt like it was taking away from my passion of actually working out.
Yeah.
So
Lose the fun
I,
of it.
yeah, it's weird. You think that would be better because that's your passion and you can help it, but it seemed like it was detracting away from my own lifting and stuff. So if that
Gotcha.
makes sense.
So you said you paint. I see your last name on that painting behind you.
Yeah, if you could see it, it's I don't, I don't my computer.
That's right if you can't. Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
like a
actually really cool.
yeah.
I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And here's a, I'll show you one this one's huge though. It's
Gotcha.
kind of it's a work in progress.
All right.
I have to hold it up though. It's kind of large.
Gotcha.
So you can see that.
Oh man.
Not like
Dude.
it's a 5x5 canvas. I've been working on it now for I haven't worked on it for a while. It's been on hold, so.
That's huge. That's awesome though. I like what you did with the red and the black there.
I'll get back on it. I need to outline. It needs a lot of work.
Gotcha.
But I haven't had time to do it, so that's been a problem.
I hear that. I hear that.
Plus, you need like where I live in kind of a loft. It's like a big loft.
Okay.
I don't have like a big space to paint here, you know. So you kind of need a whole space with a slop sink. I mean, that's
True.
I get tired of like messing and then cleaning it up.
Totally
So
understand that.
last time I cleaned it up, I'm like, I don't want to mess it again. So I have to wait until I get like a bigger area so that I can do that, you know.
Gotcha. So, Richard DeVizio had a bunch of crazy stories. Do you have any stories from filming for Mortal Kombat? It was a pretty low key for you.
It was pretty low key because my character, I think my scenes were pretty easy because I didn't do that much.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because of that costume and because of what Shao Kahn does, you're kind of limited in what you can do. You can't really do too much jumping and kicking with that costume on.
That's true. That is true.
Every time you even moved, everything kind of fell out of line. The shoulder pads, knee pads.
Now, was it all leather?
No, it wasn't leather at all. It was kind of, it was more plastic.
More plastic? Okay.
Yeah, almost the whole thing was plastic.
Awesome. That probably held a lot of, where it was holding, it probably, like up on your shoulders, probably made you sweat a lot too because there was just nothing breathing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know we did the whole, I spent the whole day doing the voice of Shao Kahn and all this stuff, and then I think they had someone else do it.
Gotcha.
But I filmed some other games that were pretty interesting too, like the War Gods.
Okay.
Familiar with War Gods?
Yeah.
I played Warhead in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That game ended up not being as popular. It was supposed to be the first like motion capture fighting game.
Okay.
Which I think it was, but it just never became that popular. But I remember doing that probably more because I spent more time doing that. I did a whole day where they painted me.
Okay.
Literally took about 5 hours to paint me, and then I did all the scenes.
Okay.
And then they realized it wasn't coming through on the screen, so I had to go back and film all those scenes again without the paint on, and they just added it as an effect later.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, most of the funnest part to me was just hanging out the studio and seeing what they did because I was going to school for graphic design at the time.
Oh.
I think I was just finishing up, and I was really interested in maybe trying to work for them, but I think I was also trying to be a bodybuilder at the time, so I was spending a lot of time in the gym.
Yeah.
So when I saw what those guys did, like they were basically staying, like they had deadlines for these games, and they never left their office for days.
Yep.
Like they had beds in their offices and they would work. And I'm like, shit, I can't do that.
Not at all. No, that would be not with bodybuilding.
Got into my workout time. So that kind of spoiled it for me wanting to get into that profession,
I feel that. So, let's see.
I guess the fun part was honestly was like just going there and like we played a lot of games. There's a lot of waiting around.
Yeah.
You spend more time waiting around than you do filming, like because they got to set everything up, and then you go in there, do your stuff, and then all right, go, have some. They would always have food for us and stuff like that, pizza, different, all kinds of sandwiches and stuff, and we would play the other video games that they had there too. So that was fun.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, video game companies got to have tons of video games just lying around for sure. That'd be fun.
It was just a big room with all their games that they had coming out, and trial games, test games, and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, tell me, like, you've probably been traveling around and doing different cons and stuff like that. How many would you say you've been to? Like, how many different cons have you gone to?
Honestly, not that many because I think the game just started becoming more popular in the last few years again with the release of the movie and the new game that just came out, and then the pandemic hit, so we had a lot of stuff that was canceled.
That's true.
Like recently, I just did the Comic-Con in LA, and that was they still had a lot of restrictions. They were making us wear a mask a lot of time there, so it wasn't, it seemed like the crowd wasn't as crazy as I've seen them in the past, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I think we were in a booth kind of like like way out of where people were, so we didn't get a ton of traffic there.
Gotcha. So you said you were with at the LA Comic Con. You were with two other actors from the movies. Which one were they?
It was Chris. Is his name Chris Kamakasa? He played Scorpion.
Played Scorpion. Oh wow.
Yeah, come on. And then the other, what's the other guy's name? He's a little bit older than me. He was they're like real martial artists.
Yeah.
The other guy was in a bunch of movies like Beverly Hills Ninja. I'm trying to think of it.
Was it the guys from the original movie or from the newest? I gotcha. No worries.
I believe the original one.
Okay. So you got So you got the guy from who played Liu Kang, who's in Beverly Hills Ninja.
I think his name is Chris Casamassa or something like that.
Okay.
He played Sub-Zero, Scorpion, or both, and then the other guy played. I totally forget his name.
It's all right. No worries.
It's the first time I ever met him.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, yeah, totally understand.
Yeah, so, and then John Tobias showed up, and Ed Boon and those guys all showed up, and then the producer of the movie showed up there.
Wow.
So I think he was also responsible for the last movie too. The same guy.
Yeah, gotcha. That's awesome. So the one question I've been wanting to ask since I got the interview: did they put the hammer in after the effect, as an after effect, or did you actually have a giant hammer that you were swinging around?
It's an after effect.
After effect, I figured.
I don't remember if I held a broom or some kind of stick or something like that.
Oh, like a placeholder?
Yeah, but It wasn't. There's no hammer. Yeah, that's why when I finally saw the game, it was kind of weird because I'm jumping so high, and the size of me was so big. Like people actually think I'm that big. I'm like.
Yeah, you look huge in that game. Like they make you look so big. I'm like, it's crazy.
People are like, oh, you're Shao Kahn. That's they expect someone taller.
Yeah. But no, like legitimately, like Mortal Kombat 3 was a giant chunk of my childhood, and I don't think Shao Kahn could have been Shao Kahn if it wasn't you. Like I'm sure they could have got somebody else, but like now you are Shao Kahn. To like, I would say anybody my age or a little bit younger, a little bit older, you are Shao Kahn.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that. Do you still play the game today or what?
I don't even play the new ones. I think I dabble in them because they get on like Game Pass or something like that, and I have Game Pass, so it's free. But no, I've played Mortal Kombat 3 more recently than I've played Mortal Kombat 11 or 10.
So you can play on Game Pass. You can play the old school games or what?
No, not the old school. You can get the newer ones. As the newer ones get older, they put them on there. No, I have Super Nintendo emulator that I play it on.
Ah, okay.
But like,
I still have a Sega system somewhere.
Yeah.
With the games, because they would give us copies of the game every time they came out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I still have them somewhere. I wouldn't even know how to hook up to my TV at this point.
Those would be worth signing and putting on eBay or something for sure. People are all about getting that retro stuff right now.
Well, yeah, a lot of people bring those to the events, and they want them signed. They'll bring their game consoles. They'll bring the little cartridges.
Yeah, because you ended up being on the. They took the information from Mortal Kombat 3, and put you in the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and the Mortal Kombat Super or whatever, the one that they put on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tell me about this con that they have down there. Like, what is it? How is it?
I'm excited about it. It's I don't know if you knew, but this year is the 30th anniversary.
Okay.
So we're gonna have the con on the exact day. Say it again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat, not 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So the original arcade cabinet came out October 8th, 1992.
Yeah.
So they're bringing back. I can't even say it. So we're having a celebration for the 30th anniversary. You're gonna be there. Um, it's gonna be huge. We have the original 11,
Yeah.
including the original illustrator for the entire cabinet, and then I think 8 to 10 more guests on top of that, including Princess Peach, Toad, and Bowser from Super Mario,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
a
that's
bunch
cool.
of others. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Is it how big is it? Is it a convention center or where is it at? Like, how
Yeah,
big is
it's
it?
it's at Century 2 here in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
It's a big exhibition hall.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never been to Kansas before, so it'll
Oh,
be my.
it's you're gonna love it. It's a in my opinion. I tell everybody, I had a buddy in town from Jersey last a couple weekends ago, and I told him it's like a breath of fresh air. Like you go from the big city to here. It's like, wow, that's so. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, as a kid, like we always took trips to like Wisconsin
Yeah.
and like Indiana.
Yep.
So even
Oh,
though I grew up,
then you already got the fresh air.
yeah, even though I grew up in the city, we always went play. Even in Vegas, like you could drive. You're in the middle of nowhere in a half hour.
That's
You
true.
know,
That is true as well,
so it's kind of similar,
for sure,
although it's desert, not as green.
for sure.
Have you
So
been to Vegas?
I have not been to Vegas, but I'm going to make a trip as soon. I have a baby on the way,
Yeah. Oh,
so
congrats.
yep, 2 weeks. So
Wow.
but once we get a little bit more settled in, say it again.
You're gonna make it to the con in October.
So I'm gonna help run it. I actually have a shirt on
Yeah.
for it. I will be there working it. I'm making this a deal because I want everything to go off without a hitch so we can keep having it.
And how did you get involved with the level up? How did you get involved with that?
So I actually met Keith at another con here in Wichita. He lives
Okay.
here, and we ended up talking. And I'm a content creator for Twitch. I stream and play video games online.
Oh, okay.
So he was like,
I created a Twitch channel. I've just never streamed on there.
"Yeah, it honestly, you can do whatever you want on it. You can go on there, and if you end up getting some space to paint, I'm sure people would love to tune in to watch you paint.
Yeah.
People do that.
I know there's a girl that I know from the gym, and she was telling me that I had no clue what Twitch was.
Yeah,
And she was telling me she's on Twitch. So I started following her. And then I went on there a couple of times and she told me to create a Twitch channel. She's like, oh, you should do it. You get so many people from, Mortal Kombat. And then there's a Bryce Harper, the baseball player. He works out at my gym. So he's on Twitch. So I'd always go on Twitch when he's on Twitch. So
you work out in the same gym as Bryce Harper. That is awesome.
I became pretty friendly with him. I always bullshit with him when I see him. You know, he's
That's incredible, honestly. Bryce
always fun.
Harper, like that's just awesome. That's cool.
He's from Vegas. He's been, yeah, I mean, he's a local.
That's true. That's true. I always forget that. Like,
Back when I first moved out here, that was when I think he was in high school back then.
oh wow,
He's won the MVP this year. So yeah, it's cool. It's
very
cool to
cool.
see those guys in there training and stuff like there's some Raiders that train there now. Now that the Raiders are here.
Yeah. Well, and then Devontae Adams is now got traded over there, so that'll be interesting.
I saw Shaq was I train at the Lifetime it's a Lifetime gym in Henderson.
Okay.
And Shaq came in there one day.
That's crazy.
Now he should have played Shao Kahn.
They wouldn't be able to get him to fit on the computer screen to expand him. They're just shrink him or whatever.
His head hits the upper bars where they got the pull ups on the cable cross machines.
Yeah.
His head pretty much hits that.
That's crazy.
It was like honestly when I've never seen anybody get so much attention before because a lot of people can kind of if you're just a regular sized person, a lot of people won't even recognize like probably 90% of the gym doesn't know who Bryce Harper is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you see Shaq, everybody knows who Shaq is
Like a
he's
sword, gigantic, dark thumb.
It was just crazy to see the reaction, and he was really friendly with everybody. Everyone goes up and says hi, and he's nice.
Yeah. He seems like a good guy, especially like from what I've seen, he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, no, he was very approachable. Like everyone was talking to him. He was taking pictures with people. It's pretty cool. So there's rumors that he was buying a house somewhere in Henderson here, because I guess he has some businesses here.
Yep.
I think he also has a club or he DJs
Oh
now.
yeah, DJ like
Yeah,
DJ Diesel.
yeah,
Yep.
got all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah,
For sure.
it was cool
So,
to see.
Brian, thank you so much for your time. This has been awesome.
No problem. Anything else? Any?
I mean, I will sit here and listen to you talk all day. Like, if you guys give me any stories you got, I will sit here and listen to you all day. I got nothing else going on.
Stories from Mortal Kombat. Well, I'm hoping that we can get back. Like in Chicago, we used to do something at that at an arcade there every year,
Yeah.
and that was fun to get back. But they haven't done it now. Have you heard of the Galloping Ghost?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like a big arcade in Chicago, or it's like in Brookfield. It's
Yeah.
near Chicago, and every year he would have us all there, and for the last, I think we had the 25th anniversary thing. He had some special thing for that, and then but he hasn't since then. He hasn't had anything. Actually, he had one at the year after, and then he hasn't had any since then. So I wish he'd get back. That's Doc Mac.
Yep.
I wish he'd get back into holding those events. It was always fun to go back there.
For sure, that's always a cool thing, especially because like it's so close to where everything was done. Everything was done in Chicago, right?
Yeah, and it's good. It's cool to meet back up with everybody, to get everybody together, because it seems like most of these conventions now, like we're just getting,
Bits and pieces.
few of us together, and then it was kind of the being that I was the only one from the game at the Comic-Con LA was kind of weird because, like I said, nobody understood like who I was. They didn't really get it. Like,
Yeah.
I think most people there are there for the movie. They know the movie actors. They don't know the game characters. So people be like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Shao Kahn." I'm like, like but I was in the game. I wasn't in the movie. You're in the game. It's like, what do you mean?
It's so much cooler. Like being in a game, you're immortalized. Like the digital information for a game, like the movie you can stream it sometimes if you find the right place. But the game data is everywhere. You can find Mortal Kombat 3 on everything.
Right, but as you Google Shao Kahn, though, I see less and less of my images and the old images, and I see more and more of the new images. I almost have to, like before, if I Google Shao Kahn, I would come up immediately.
Yep.
Now I have to kind of Google Brian Glynn Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is kind of over time being replaced by the new school stuff. So hopefully, we have to leave it up to the fans to keep it alive.
That's true.
So.
That's true. That's another thing we're doing with this level up is letting everybody know that, and that's another thing is I'm pretty sure we're getting everybody back. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have everybody, and that doesn't happen. Like you said, that doesn't happen very often, and this is gonna be an all timer. I think it's gonna be a great time.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it, and that'll be a great. I think is it a 3-day?
2-day
thing?
2-day.
Oh, 2 day.
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday, or
Saturday,
Friday,
Sunday.
Saturday.
Yep, Saturday, Sunday. Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. It's October. Is it getting cool in Kansas in October? No?
It's so mild. Like it's probably gonna end up being 60 degrees all day in October. Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
Well,
absolutely. Well, again, there is one thing. I'll take this off if you don't want to. So on another thing on IMDb that apparently it says that, and you can confirm or deny. Were you dating the actress who played Sindel, Leah?
yeah, we were. Yeah.
You dated? Okay, awesome. That's because we talked about the height thing.
Yeah.
Got to confirm or deny these,
Well, that's kind of how she got the part, sorta. Like,
oh yeah.
She was, and I think John was looking for someone to play a female character, so I got her.
Okay.
Go interview for that. So, and she was into fitness and stuff too. So,
that's
we dated for a long time. I mean, we're still good friends. She lives in Chicago now.
Okay.
She moved out to LA for a while, and then she's back in Chicago. So we still talk.
Awesome.
So
it kind of seems that way, that everybody who was like in Mortal Kombat, it's like the degrees of separation. Like Daniel Pesina was Richard, and a new Richard, new Hosting Pack, and then you knew Sindel, and John Parrish got you.
Yeah.
And then you got Leah. That's awesome. Like it's cool how it kind of stayed tight knit, because nowadays it's like, okay, who's on this list of voice actors we can get instead of
Well, right. And I don't even think they knew it was going to be as big because it didn't seem like they really like dug too far to get like, I mean, they picked me for Shao Kahn. I don't think there was anyone else they even,
Interviewed.
you know,
Yeah.
called in. You know what I mean?
True.
So I think they were, I think that was that kind of shows you that they weren't even sure what they kind of had. You know what I mean? They're
Absolutely.
filming these games and hopefully something would happen, you know,
Yep.
still super popular today. So,
Extremely popular. It's top 3 fighting game of all time. Period.
well, when I get on when I start twitching, I'll start following you and get on, and build out my channel.
Absolutely. Hey, and if you need any help with that, I got you. Just let me know. I got you.
I think mine is like Brian Glenn Shao Kahn or something like that, or Shao Kahn Brian Glenn. It's something like that.
Gotcha. I'll have to take a look and see if I can find you. But the
I,
only thing I require, if I help you with your Twitch channel, you
yeah,
gotta play me in Mortal Kombat 3 at
well, I
least
will,
one
but
time.
it's going to be a joke because I all I do is mash buttons. This is how I play. I just go like that. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I feel you.
Well, that's why I can't really play the games today because they're so complicated,
They
you know?
really are. They're
Yeah.
extremely
Before
complicated.
you can just hit buttons and it'll do something. Now you got to do all kinds of shit. So
Absolutely.
Atari, after Atari, it kind of lost me.
Gotcha. Well, again, Brian, thank you so much.
Well,
This
no
has been
problem, Brandon.
awesome. I'm geeking out. I've been geeking out this whole thing. Like, this is very cool, and I'm really excited to meet you in October.
All right, no problem. We'll see you then. Good luck with the baby.
I appreciate you. You have a great evening, and thanks again.
You too. All right, Brandon. Take care.
Bye bye.